So after kennel person A is done with everything down in the main kennel block with the dogs and whatnot, what we've already shown you, you'll come up to do the cats. So generally we will try and start with the luxuries and move your way through, because they are paying for a more premium service. So if you start your way from the luxuries all the way around, obviously if there aren't any luxuries, you just start on your standard kennel side. So you just do cat by cat versus doing, so you do their litter, water, wipe it out, feed them, pop it back. If they are on a special diet, it will have that on the front, so just take note of that before you open their kennels, so then you know once their kennels are open you're not going to see that, so make sure that you're not going to just automatically put our food in there. So because it's the middle of the day, these cats have already been done, but just for demonstrative purposes we're going to do Meg's kennel as we would in the morning, but you would do this with every cat obviously. So you have to do each single cat, and we like to just open the kennel and let them sort of jump out and roam around just to stretch their legs and whatnot if they want to while we clean their kennels. So you just open it, leave it open, let them jump out as they want. If their litter has if it's got urine or feces in it, you just take the whole litter tray out and take it. Obviously his doesn't at the moment, but you would take it over and empty the whole thing into the bin. If it's just got a bit of urine that is completely absorbed by the crystals and is not anywhere else in the litter tray, you can just straight away put 2 more scoops in and return it to the kennel. If it is soiled and needs a clean, you just pop it in the sink and to clean, or next to the sink to clean later, and grab a fresh one. Put your 2 scoops of litter in it and return it to their kennel. The water is fine as long as if there's a film of hair over the top, which is common in cats. You do want to give them fresh water because they really don't like unclean water, and you'll find they won't drink it. So just empty it and fill your water up again. Food, as long as they're not on a special diet, we feed a mixture of dry food and a little bit of wet food just to entice them to eat while they're here, because we don't want them losing weight. So you've got your food here, so I would just take the food bowl out to start with. If the water dish needs taking out, then just inspect the kennel. If it looks like Meg's does now, which is obviously quite clean, you don't have to spray and wipe everywhere because the same cat is returning to that kennel. It is obviously different if the cat is leaving and a new cat's coming in, it needs to be disinfected, but we'll go through that in another video. So once you've got fresh litter in there, the water for Meg's is okay, his kennel is okay, then ultimately you just need to feed him. Generally just feed 1 scoop. Again, use your discretion on this as you would with the dogs. If it is a really large kind of cat, like say 6 kilos, you're going to obviously feed the normal amount, but if it is a 3 kilos smaller kind of cat, you may not need to feed as much. So you just put the biscuits in one side, and then you wet food, check the fridge. If there's one open, you just continue using that one. Otherwise there'll be fresh cans down here. If you run out of any of this food, it's down in the storeroom, you just go and grab some more. We do 2 tablespoons of wet food per animal. You just then return it to their kennel. Again, making sure that you try and place it as far away from the litter tray as possible, because they don't like to eat it close. And then with their food bowls, you can just keep reusing the same one as long as it is ultimately clean, because we're not using a raw food diet as we do with the dogs. So you can just grab their food bowl and use it straight away. You don't need to clean it and get a fresh one. If it is heavily soiled, where it's got poo or wee or something like that on it, obviously just put it in the sink, grab a fresh one, and leave those to clean till after in bulk. Then we would return Meg's. Oh, yeah. A lot of them will just jump up again after you've got their food in there because they're excited to eat, so you just place them back in and then just shut them up, so then that cat is done for the day, and then you move on to the next one and continue for all of them. And yeah. So in this video we're going to show you how to set up a cat kennel, both a standard and a luxury one. So these ones here are luxuries, and then the final two wooden ones and the rest are standards. So you've got your kitty litter trays up here. These are our water bowls, food bowls, and then our blankets are under here. So first off, just make sure that it's clean. You want to get a kitty litter tray to start with, and the kitty litter lives down here. So it says on top, so it's maximum 2 scoops per tray. Okay, then you just place it, depending what kennel you're doing, but in the luxuries there's either going to be a hole into their internal cubby at the bottom or at the top. So you just want to place it down the back. And then in the, actually I'll just use this one. In the standard ones, you're just going to place it under their pedestal stool. It just gives them a feeling of privacy, and then that way you can put their food at the front because they don't like to eat close to their litter box, so you just want to keep it as far away as possible. Obviously it's hard in a small environment, but you just want to do the best you can. So once you've got the litter trays in there, then you just want to grab a blanket. So in the luxuries, you're going to put their blanket in their little hidey hole, and then just shut the door again. Always make sure it's locked when you're finished with it. And then in the standards, you just pop it up on top of the pedestal up there. And then with your water bowls, just pre-fill it up. And just place it in the standard ones, you just place it at the front. And then in the luxuries, if you just place it on the second one to prevent kitty litter and stuff getting in there throughout. Okay, so now we're just going to go through how to clean the kennel once the occupant has left and we're cleaning it ready for a new one to come in. So you obviously want to do it pretty thorough because it's going to be different cats, so you don't want cross-contamination between them. So all the cleaning stuff is under the sink. There's Ajax, and then there's F10, so you want both of them. If it's a luxury, you'll need the Windex as well to clean the window on the front. Then there should be a paper towel up here. The paper towel usually lives under there, but could be on top of the fridge or up there. So you just grab that. And then there's a dustpan and brush under here to scoop all your excess litter out. If it's heavily soiled, you can wear gloves, obviously, because you don't want to get cat poo on your hands. Yeah, so you take your stuff. So first, just remove your litter tray. Remove everything from it. And the blanket. Just if you're doing bulk amounts, just put, if the blanket isn't, if it's heavily soiled, probably take it straight down to the washing, or bring a washing basket up here to put it in. But because that one's quite clean, you can just sit it there ready to take down. You would wash in there to wash up at the end, and then you would just tip this in the bin. Obviously this is clean litter, so you're going to return it to the clean one, but obviously it's dirty, so you put it in a bin. You place that there to wash as well. Then just remove the bed to clean separately. Sweep out all the excess hair and litter. So you just want to wipe it over. You spray it thoroughly with your Ajax, just disinfect and clean it. You can put it in the walls as well. Just get your paper towel. then just do the same thing with your bed. Just wipe over, disinfect it, including the legs as well, because the kitty litter goes underneath there. So the surface, and then just wipe down your legs. You then just want to do a mist of F10 and just let it sit on there. So this isn't a cleaning product, it's just to kill any any contaminants left in there from other cats. So you just do a light sort of mist over that in the bed. And just place your bed back in there and let it dry. Obviously as well, you probably just want to get your wet paper towel with some F10 or disinfectant and just wipe over the bars from the cat's pouring at it. They might have got some food or whatnot on there, but they're usually not too bad. And then you pretty much do the same thing with the luxuries. Take all your stuff out, empty it, do the same thing, sweep out all the kitty litter, grab your blanket out, have these both open, and then do the same thing, wipe over entirely, spray with F10. Only difference being is that you just want to spray this with your glass cleaner and clean that at the same time. Once all that's done, again, same as with the dogs. If you're in busy times when you have multiple of these to clean, you can do it in stages, like spray them all, wipe them all, F10 them all, rather than doing it block by block. It's only when you're actually doing the ones with live cats in them that you want to do them separately, so then the cats aren't out together. But yeah. If you have a aggressive cat, no problem. Don't try and force them in or out of their cage. They can just stay in there. But we do have welding gloves here, so your arms don't get scratched. So if it is a caution cat, please use these. They will save your hands. So just pop them on before you try and grab anything out of their kennel. So pop them on and grab their litter tray out, grab everything you need out, place it on the ground, shut their cage again, clean it as need be, put these back on and put their food and everything back in the kennel. That way if they do have a go at you, then your hands are protected.